Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? So I got an email from one of my peoples, and he says, Mr. Locario, how should I approach a woman and start a conversation? Should I just say hello, how you doing? Or should I just walk up to her, compliment her, and then tell her my intentions? How should I do it? All right. So, I've talked about this a lot, about approaching girls, starting conversations, and also in my book, How to Have Sex with 2 Men a Day, I talk about this. I have a whole chapter on approaching women. And also what I did is I added, if you go to mrlocario.com right now and go to the store page and go to the How to Have Sex with 2 Men a Day page, what I did is I have that book, but I also added 2 free bonus audio programs. One is called the Confidence Booster and the other one is called the Conversation Booster. And both of those help you when it comes to approaching women. It's because it's not just about, you going up to women and saying stuff. It's about how you feel when you're saying these things and how you feel about yourself and how confident you are in what you're saying. So it's about the confidence and it's also about, the conversation. And in the Conversation Booster, right, there's a technique that I put together, a conversation style that I call the 3 C's. And in that, it tells you like easy ways to get girls' numbers and set up dates and all that. So that's when you're, closing a deal. But when we talk about just starting a conversation, and to answer this question, it's, I've talked about this before, and there's really 2 easy ways to do this. You either do it indirectly or directly. That's it. Indirectly is basically you going up to the girl and you start talking about something in the situation, or in the surroundings of where you're at. And then that's how you start the conversation. So, for example, if you are, at a bus stop or, waiting for a bus, or you walk up to a bus stop and you're standing away for a bus and you see the girl already there, you could just be like, hey, how long you been waiting for this bus? And she'd be like, oh, I've been here for about like 5-10 minutes or whatever. And then through that, you start the conversation. You'd be like, oh, so how's your day going? She's like, oh, it's fine, blah, 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 And you'd be like, hey, my name is Mr. Locario. How you doing? Oh, my name is Jackie. How you doing? And then you just start the conversation that way. That's the indirect way where you're not directly hollering at her yet. You're just having like a regular conversation, picking out something that's happening in the situation in order to, keep the conversation going, right? And what's good about the indirect way, a lot of times is that it's sort of a good indicator to see how, cool the chick is as far as conversation goes. Do you understand? Doesn't necessarily mean she's into you or whatever, but there's some girls where you'll talk to them and no matter what you say to them, they'll just have an attitude. They'll just be standoffish where they act, they don't want to talk or whatever. So by you being indirect and not really hollering at her up front, it's like, you're not really hollering at her yet. So you're just saying some regular shit. And it's you can kind of see and sort of test how she's going to react. And then if she's, being cool about it, then you continue to talk. And if she's like super standoffish or rude or whatever, then that's the type of chick you don't even want to bother to really keep talking to. You understand? So that's the good part about indirect. And that's, for a lot of you guys who are beginning and who are, who get nervous talking to women, I always suggest guys, start indirect when they're first learning so that they can, so they can just get comfortable talking to the girls, right? So that's the indirect way. The direct way is you just directly going up to a chick and letting her know what's popping. So, you were asking, should I walk up to her, compliment her, and then tell her my intentions? That's more of the direct way. You understand? That's more like, let's use the bus stop example again. Let's say you walk up to the bus stop, you see the girl there, and you say, you go up to her and be like, hey, how you doing? Look, yeah, I think you're really, really hot. Listen, my name is Mr. Locario. I think me and you should get together, get a drink sometime. Here, take my number, give me a number. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're directly letting them know that you're interested. You understand? So you can choose which way you want to do, indirect or direct. But those are, mainly the ways that you start the conversation and approach them. You understand? And it's the more you do it, the more you get comfortable doing it, and then you know the easier it becomes while you're doing it. You know, the hard part usually is actually deciding to start it, or actually doing it, like trying to start the conversation, meaning trying to approach the girl. That's usually the hardest part. Once you're actually having the conversation with the girl, you understand, it's, you know, you've been doing it for a while, and it flows a little bit better the more that you do it. But it's just more so pushing yourself to actually approach, which is going to be the hardest part in most cases, because, you know, no matter how good a guy is at approaching women or talking to girls or whatever, right? Let's say you could have approached like 10 girls today, and then, you know, you go home, you go to sleep, you wake up, it's a new day, and then you might still have that anxiety to start it again. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I remember I had a video a while ago where I was talking about, I think I named it the power of approaching one girl, because usually what happens is that, you know, you might hesitate when you're starting out. Like, let's say, you know, you go outside, you hang out with your friends or whatever, you go somewhere, and you're like, okay, I want to go talk to some girls. And before you've talked to anybody, there's going to be that, you know, hesitation or that anxiety a little bit in most cases, right? But as soon as you approach one chick, then it kind of like, okay, I hollered at this girl, and now that, you know, anxiety lessens, and, you know, so you're a little bit more comfortable now because you've sort of just jumped into it. Now you're in that little zone, so then you can approach the second girl and the third girl and the fourth girl, so it becomes a little bit easier. So it's just about getting over that hump of, okay, let me just do it. Let me just go and do it and make it happen. And then that's going to make it, you know, easier for you next time to go approach the other girls. And then while you're approaching those girls, you know, you get into the conversation. And now the part about you being in the conversation, the more that you are in conversations with women, the more it's going to be easier for you to have a back and forth dialogue with girls, and it's going to flow better. A lot of times, since you don't have practice, you know, talking to women, then when you get to the point where you are actually in the conversation, sometimes you're like, oh my God, I don't know what to say. How do I keep it going? This feels awkward. And, you know, you're all up in your head and all these other different things are going on, and you don't really know how to flow and make the conversation run smoothly and know how to, you know, close the deal, get the numbers and all that other stuff, you know, quickly. Because a lot of times what happens is a lot of dudes out there, they'll, you know, talk to girls and they're just making the conversation drag, and you're talking too much and you're saying all this extra shit you don't need to say, and it's just like you just got to get in and get out. You understand? But that comes with practice. You feel me? But again, it just indirect and direct. You know, choose which one you want to do, and you start it off that way. And then once you're getting, you know, into the conversation, and then you close the deal. And you know, I teach you how to do all these things. You know, get how to have sex with 2 women a day, because that book will teach you how to do that, right? And when you get that book, you're also going to get the 2 bonuses, which is the confidence booster and the conversation booster. And those are each hour long. I think it's an hour long. Yeah. It's both it's either hour or half an hour. I can't even remember. I did that shit so long ago. But anyway, they're 2 free audio bonuses that you're going to get. And, you know, and it'll teach you, you know, all the other stuff you need to know to make that happen. All right. So I am out of here, guys. If you have any questions, click the link below to send me a question. Also, click the link under that to get my free ebook, The Magnificent 10 Crucial Dating Tips for Men. Also, click the link under that to join my Bad Boy membership program, where you get 45 through 90-minute audio and video dating advice tutorials every month. All right? So, you know, make sure you go on the Bad Boy membership. And also on the Bad Boy membership, I have an audio program where I'm talking about how to, you know, get chicks using direct game. You understand? So make sure you go to Bad Boy membership to get that. That'll also help out your conversation skills when you're dealing with women. All right. So that is it. I'm out of here. Remember, guys, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone. Hey, what's up? It's dating and life coach Mr. Locario. Go to badboymembership.com and master the dating game by joining my Bad Boy membership program. In this program, you'll receive 45 through 90-minute, easy to follow, step-by-step dating advice tutorials that's guaranteed to help you attract, date, and have sex with beautiful women. Join the Bad Boy membership today by going to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com.